as I travel around the world, really, at this point. I've been to Afghanistan as a senator and as a soldier, Pakistan, Israel, Dubai, Jordan, visiting world leaders, visiting our troops, meeting with business leaders, and all they talk about is jobs. That's it. And then we're back in the Senate, and we do very little to talk about jobs. And I've been, quite frankly, a little bit disgusted as to what's been going on, the lack of cooperation, because I've said for over a month and a half now, I've felt it my whole life, but the last month and a half I've been telling people down in Washington, you know what, we're Americans first. We're not Democrats or Republicans first, we're Americans first. And to me what that means is, we have to find that common ground and work together to solve problems. And that's what I'm trying to do, whether it's dealing with a lot of the budgetary issues, working in armed services, homeland, veterans, small business, trying to solve problems in a bipartisan, bicameral manner, because for all the Democrats in here, there's no Democrat bill that's going to pass, folks. It's not happening. For all you Republicans, there's no Republican bill that's going to pass. Bipartisan, bicameral. The only way we're going to get things done is to work together, period. And so what I've been trying to do is my job. While everyone else is doing the gotcha thing, and they're running the negative ads, and they're doing all that stuff a year out, you know what? I'm not throwing rocks. I'm out solving problems, working on trade agreements, treaties, visiting our troops, doing my job, and that's what you sent me there to do. And there's nothing that I'm more honored to do is to continue to serve in the military. I think about it every day. I've been doing it since I was 19, not dissimilar to many of you here. And so I want to thank you all for your service and sacrifice. A lot of familiar faces, people that have been supporting and I've been working with since I was a selectman and a state senator and a state rep back home. A lot of the veterans agents, thank you for what you do. A lot of our wounded warriors, thank you for what you all have done. And all of the spouses. Really, I mean, I'm going to share one story with you, and then I'm going to sit down. It's something that I'll never forget as long as I live. Now, I've been in since I was 19, as I said. I was in 11 Bravo, and then I went to ROTC, and then infantry company commander, and quartermaster company commander, airborne, all that stuff. And I finally became a JAG. It was a JAG. And I did some mobilizations up in Milford. I remember this guy, he walked in, he was like, dude, 6'5", arms were bigger than my calves. You know what kind of guy I'm talking about. And he could barely fit in his uniform, and he sat down at my desk, and I'm doing his will and his trust and power of attorney, making sure everything is in order. And you could tell something was a little off. You could just tell it was just not clicking. And so we started talking and talking. He was kind of, I don't want to say sassy, but he was kind of like, chippy. You know what I mean? And we started talking. I said, can I just ask you a question, Sergeant? Like, what's wrong? And he started like crying. And he said, sir, I just got married. I just had a baby. And I said, well, I'll go through that wall right there. I'll go through that wall for anybody. But I'm scared that that I go there and God forbid something happens. I never get a chance to see my daughter growing up. And I, somehow, because my wife and I were a little bit shaky right now, and a little concerned that she won't be there either when I come back. I'm like, whoa, okay, that's pretty heavy. How do you deal with that? I called over the pastor. I called over the chaplain. I called over some Red Cross folks. I spoke to the company commander. So we set up that network, the Facebook, the opportunity to communicate on a weekly basis. Did a support system with the spouse back home. So she needed a break to go shopping or get some food. We had the babysitters there. We had the driveway plowed. Everything was good. And don't you know, he came back after his tour of duty and this post-mobilization when we kind of wrapped it up, and he sought me right out. He came right over. I thought he was going to like grab me and pick me up. He adjusted my back, which was good. It's felt good ever since. And he just said, sir, he looked me right in the eye. He said, sir, thank you. My wife and I are solid. I'm psyched. I've been watching my daughter grow up. I'm psyched. And that's really what's important. It's about families. It's about making sure that we have that support network back home. I mean, from what you do, the things you've done, singing pridefully, people respect you, they appreciate your efforts and everything you do, and the VFWs have a new role now with the new fallen, the new soldiers that have served. It's a new role for the American Legions and for the BFWs, and it's a good thing. So I'm going to continue to battle to provide the tools and resources and fight each and every day for the people that have served and continue to serve. And we have some tough decisions. I was with Secretary Panetta the other day, and Admiral Mullins, and trying to figure out where we go. How do we cut $400 billion out of the military in the middle of 2.5 wars? How do we do it? How do we make sure that the VA is going to be available to continue to provide the resources? How do we do it better? How do we maximize our dollars better? A lot of challenges, and I'm up for it, and I appreciate your time to come. Gail and I are going to stay for a while and participate in the friendship, and then we're going to head into town. And we haven't seen each other for a week. She reminded me the second she got home today on the plane, she reminded me, so we're going to spend a little time together. So thank you. I'm looking forward to being here, and keep battling.
John Brown, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I walked across a county courthouse square. On a park bench, I saw an old man sitting there. I said, the old courthouse is... I believe that she can take a whole lot more. Flag. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the national anthem of the United States of America, the Star-Spangled Banner. Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare for the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the free. Today I would like to give a cursory introduction to, there's fathers here, 2 Gold Star fathers. I'd like to introduce Mr. Stephen Milley and Mr. Paul Monty. Later on, we're going to hear the story of each of their sons. Also in attendance are Mr. Dan Magoon, the Executive Director of the Mass Fallen Heroes and Operation Enduring Freedom, combat veteran. Where do you serve? Dan. Also in attendance, Mr. Timothy Shea. He's the Mass Rider Captain of the Patriot Guard Motorcycle Group. Where are you, sir? Thank you. And also Mr. Mark Vonner, President and CEO of the Veterans Developmental Corporation. At this time, I'm going to turn the microphone over to retired Lieutenant Colonel of the United States Army, Mr. Daniel Gregory. He has a story and an introduction for one of our very special people here today.
24 September 2008, Staff Sergeant Michael Downing. On a second deployment just south of Kabul, Afghanistan, Michael was on a combat mission with the Afghan police. As the gunner of his vehicle, he was immediately thrown from it by the blast and his vehicle was hit by an IED. The force of the blast threw Michael some 40 feet in the air from his vehicle and directly into enemy territory. Unprotected and having to use his sidearm because his M4 was damaged, Michael quickly returned fire upon his enemy. After calling out to his fellow soldiers to check on the conditions and whereabouts, Michael suddenly realized that he had been severely wounded. His patrol leader secured the area around him. Both of Michael's legs and his left elbow were damaged. Michael was then transported to Bagram Air Force Base and on to Germany, before spending 19 months at Walter Reed Medical Hospital.
Finally, I'd like to introduce a gentleman, a fellow trooper, French Electric Blue, State Trooper Johnny Hannah, who lost his brother, the great George Hannah, all the way back in February 26th of 1983. He's here with his family today, his lovely wife and 2 sons and his mother-in-law, and we thank him very much for being in attendance.
Well, like you just told you, we just met last week at an event hosted by Dan McGoon and a lot of the veterans in Boston and around Boston for a much like cause, for a memorial for veterans that were killed in action. And he said that this is what we were doing here, trying to raise funds to build an awesome memorial here in Natick, and just asked if we could come out and show our support, and that's what we're here for. I served in Iraq in 2004. I got a chance to come home and serve veterans at the state. Working through my own little things right now, trying to get back on track, keep myself healthy at the VA. And in my spare time, when I feel up to it, I get to jump on a trike and help veterans that way. I ride for the American Infidels Motorcycle Club, which I'm president of. I'm joined here today with my secretary, Matt Crane. And we just want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you for the invitation. But it really does take everyone to welcome home veterans, not just another veteran. It takes the family members and friends and everyone around. It takes a community for us to be able to heal and to be able to give back and become a positive member of society, not just a positive member within the veterans community. We don't want to be, isolating ourselves, in our own little watering holes. We want to get out there, help our brothers and sisters coming back, give them the strength, in numbers, and whatever it is that can either get them on their feet or, keep rolling. So once again, thank you very much, and everything that you guys do, is great, and it shows by small communities, big communities coming together and really giving back and saying thank you to everyone. So thank you for this opportunity to share it with you.
Great. Hello, Margaret. We're just thanking you very much. She's the lady in red who's selling the raffle tickets. She still wants you to buy more. Elaine White, where's Elaine? Hello, White. Elaine. The other lady in red who is also doing raffle. Judy Ritchie. Where's Judy Ritchie? Hello, Judy.
Hi, my name is Elaine White. I'm from Natick, Massachusetts, and I'm here to help with the fundraising for the VFW for their memorial. This is my friend
Judy Ritchie. I'm from Natick also.
Judy we're in charge of the table decoration. So we started off slow, and now we're getting more and more involved. And it's something that we're both happy doing.
Both our husbands were veterans.
Nice to meet you, ma'am. So I'd like to bring up to the stage now Mr. Tim Shea. He is known as the Mass Rider Captain of the Patriot Guard motorcycle group. And I would ask Mr. Shea to come on up because he is going to give you an introduction to a very special person.
As I said to Mr. Monty earlier, I wanted to read the narrative of my son, Jared. Approximately 1:30 in the afternoon, UH-60 Blackhawk delivered food and water to the patrol. The patrol secured the supplies and began transporting them back to their observation position. His position, Sergeant Liebert used aim shots and patrol bursts to effectively slow the approaching enemy, while members of the patrol consolidated the position behind the rocks at the southern end of the position. As the patrol fell back behind the large rocks, Staff Sergeant Cunningham and Staff Sergeant Monty took charge of the defense. They quickly set up a perimeter, posting soldiers to guard potential approaches to their flanks. The director turned fire and cautioned soldiers to control their fires to conserve ammunition. Staff Sergeant Monty grabbed his radio handset and cleared the network for call of fire. He calmly informed headquarters that the patrol was under attack, heavily outnumbered, and at the risk of being overrun. Staff Sergeant Monty provided accurate grid coordinates to the enemy's current positions and likely avenues of approach as RPG skipped off the rocks above his head. Due to the proximity of the enemy forces, Staff Sergeant Monty's call for fire was danger close. While Monty was calling into the sound of the exploding 40mm rounds, Staff Sergeant Monty, for a third time, rose from its covered position and moved into the open, knowing he would again be the focus of enemy fire. Monty spoke briefly with the members of the patrol, telling them that he had made his peace with God. He then asked Staff Sergeant Cunningham to tell his parents they loved him. Shortly thereafter, he fell silent. Staff Sergeant Monty was posthumously promoted to Sergeant First Class on June 22, 2006. On September 17, 2009, Staff Sergeant Monty received the Medal of Honor from President Obama.
As if to greet and touch and hold the hands of those who came. Someone might stoop to leave a rose, a letter or a poem, a message to a young man loved and lost, and to show they still remember those who never made it home, built the wall so long and tall, and paid the bitter cost. And every name's a father, or a husband, or a son, or a daughter, or a brother, or a cousin to someone, or a name might be a classmate, or a friend you may recall. There's nearly 60,000 fallen names waiting at the wall. All I know, left not quite the same, with our memories alive and well, and waiting at the wall. And every name's a father, or a husband, or a son, or a father, or a brother, or a cousin to someone, or a name might be a classmate, or a friend you may recall. There's nearly 60,000 fallen names waiting at the wall. There's nearly 60,000 fallen names still waiting at the wall. Now, when I was growing up as a boy, I didn't know any Celtic songs whatsoever, because I grew up in a little state called Delaware. We didn't have any Celtic influence down in Delaware. You know, we had a chemical company called DuPont. We had a University of Delaware. We had a senator by the name of Biden, but we gave him to you. He's now Vice President of the United States, so I hope that's working out. But you know, when I came up here and became a member of the Massachusetts State Police, I started hearing these great Celtic songs, and I started hearing the pipes, and I thought it was just a fantastic thing. Now, the one song you always hear the pipes play, that's the common piping, but you didn't really know that music went to it, it's called Scotland the Brave. Italy boasts of her gay gilded waters, her vines and her bowers, and her soft sunny skies. Her sons drink in love from the eyes of her daughters, where freedom expires amid softness and sighs. Scotland's blue mountains one, where hardy cliffs apart, towering in grandeur are dearer to me. Land of the misty cloud, land of the tempest loud, land of the brave and proud, land of the free. Enthroned on the peaks of her own Highland mountains, the spirit of Scotia reigns fearless and free. her green tartan waving over blue rock and mountain. Cowley she sings, looking over the sea. Here among my mountains wild tide had serenely spun, when armies and empires against me were hurled. Firm as my native rock, I have withstood the shock of England, of Denmark, of Rome and the world. But see how proudly their war steeds are prancing, deep crosses still trotting down in their path. Eyes of her sons with their bright swords are glancing, triumphantly riding through ruin and death. Bald hats and nodding plumes wave hard their bloody tones, deep-eyed and gold is the green tartan's wave. Shifting are the ranks of steel, that is the horseman's wheel, victorious in battlefield, Scotland the brave. Bald hats and nodding plumes wave hard their bloody tones, deep-eyed and gold is the green tartan's wave. Shifting are the ranks of steel, that is the horseman's wheel, victorious in battlefield, Scotland the brave. Victorious in battlefield, Scotland the brave.
Beloved Irish songs that I only learned when I came up here, and my mom tried to get me to learn when I was just a little boy. She'd say to me, "Oh, Danny, boy. Oh, Danny, boy." I didn't get it, I was a blockhead. But it's a song about a father standing with his son, and they hear the pipes echoing down the valley and over the glen, and they know that Danny must go off to fight a battle. And the father says, "You must go, but I must stay behind, and if I should die before you return from battle, I hope you'll come visit my grave, because I'll know, and I'll be happy." And in the beginning, when this song was first written, it wasn't about a father sending his son off. It was about a mother standing with her son and sending him off to war. I offer it to all those you hold deep in your hearts. This is "Oh, Danny Boy."
Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's going, and all roses falling. It's you must go, and I must fly.
Know very, very well a country singer who wrote a song way back in the early 1980s. The guy's name is Lee Greenwood. You know it either by "God Bless the USA" or "Proud to be an American."
If tomorrow all the things were gone I worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, while the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I'll know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, gave that right to me, and I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died and gave the right to me, and I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. That I'm proud to be an American, where at least I'll know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died and gave the right to me, and I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land.